Welcome back to Highlander Heart. Exciting times. A real roller coaster. It's just like, oh my God, Henry's injured. Oh my God, Jeremy Irons. So much to talk about. As all with me is Amy and Joe. Thanks for joining, guys. And God, where do we start? Where do we start? Um, let's start with Henry. I mean, I know. It was all going so well, right? Everything
Yeah.
was gathering momentum. We were getting casting after casting after casting, and it was looking so good. We were heading towards, the shooting date, and we were almost there. The last time we talked was that, oh, we're going to be filming probably the next time we talk, and and all of that. And then he went and injured himself when he was like training and stuff, and but it was a dark day for us all. But he looks like he's recovering well. He's
Nice.
still
Yeah.
training. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. So and great for him to be sort of help allowing us to kind of join him on that journey of recovery. Amy, what did you think when you heard the news that Henry had done himself in?
Oh, it's just another one
well,
line in the thing of Highlander, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not unheard of for a Highlander actor to be injured. But
No.
it usually happens in production. It's unusual for it to happen before it's even started. Um, but how about you, Jay?
yeah. I mean, it was. I suppose maybe as a long suffering or just a long time Highlander fan, I was kind of like, well, of course. Um, but I appreciate that um, he and it sounds like Chad kind of got out in front of it, and I appreciate especially Henry showing that, hey, look, I'm still training, and here's here's the injury, here's what it is, and here the recovery. So I wonder if they also are aware of things from the past, and we're like, we just want to reassure everyone this isn't scrapping it, we're going forward. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that was my first concern, and it's always my first concern whenever I hear of any delays, because I just know how the fan base is going to react.
oh
Um,
yeah,
and it's going to be, oh, I told you it was never going to happen. Oh, it's like, oh God, here we go again. So no, absolutely, and I think it's actually it's not a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but what it says to me is how hard he's working, and that
yeah,
also then says to me how far they're pushing him in the
Mm.
production, which also then says to me how good it's going to be.
yeah,
I think we're going to be looking at some fantastic sort of action sequences. I know that's not everything that Highland's about, but that's not going to hurt. It's going to give commercially give the masses that aren't familiar with it something to sort of bring them in, and I think that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll all agree, Henry, if you're watching. All the best with your recovery. Get well soon and get back to it as soon as you can, because this is it's really exciting stuff. And even though that happened, and I thought, oh well, then that's it now. We won't hear anything else now for a while. It's all going to be delayed, and it's all going to go a bit quiet. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, we get our first bit of stunt casting. Uh, I mean, okay, so we all know Highlander is synonymous with wrestling, right? The first movie, it's the first thing we see in the film, right? And then those who were lucky enough to watch Highlander Endgame will have seen The Edge getting his butt kicked by Duncan and Connor.
You lost your edge, lad.
Well done, screenwriters. Uh, but yeah, Drew McIntyre. I mean, it makes sense if you're going to pick one. Joe, what did you think when you heard the news?
My first thought, well, I immediately went and looked him up, and I'm like, oh, he's Scottish. Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah,
That kind of fits, especially since he's playing Connor's brother. So good on them for casting someone who's actually Scottish.
yeah,
Um, and my other thought was actually, I was fine with it, but I was like, oh, the fan base is going to go nuts, and it's in a bad way. But here's the thing: wrestling has given us Dwayne Johnson.
hmm
It's given us a lot of actors that are Batista. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of actors that are doing really good roles. And my thing to anyone who's like, oh, well, they're just a wrestler, that's acting, right? I mean, they have to act like the good guy or the bad guy or, the person who's been injured multiple times throughout their career. So that's kind of like I kind of equate them to soap opera actors. That's like great training ground for someone that wants to go on and do an actual acting role. I mean, it's acting. So I'm fine with it, and I think he'll do great. And I'm very happy that he's Scottish. So.
yeah. Fantastic. Amy, what did
I
you
mean, I don't know a huge amount about wrestling or anything like that. But mirroring quite a bit of what Joe said there, knowing that obviously wrestling is it's a big act. You know that he's gonna be very good at following like the
think?
choreography of the fights and things like that, and he'll definitely put in the work. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And what do we think about the fact that he is quite definitively playing Connor as, yeah, Connor's brother, not
Yeah.
cousin. I mean, it's being said brother. So how does that? Because we're like, hang on a minute. They're
yeah, aren't they supposed to be foundlings?
yeah, foundlings. Yeah, they can't have siblings. But maybe
Maybe it's changed.
yeah,
So.
maybe it's changed, or maybe it's just a given that maybe he didn't. Maybe nobody knows that he was a foundling. Um,
Well, I mean, to the point we were talking before this, that, IMDb is listing him as Angus MacLeod, and people have been speculating Dougal MacLeod. I mean, it could be Duncan MacLeod. Maybe, I mean, it could be like, hey, here's a nod to the series. Connor's going to be the only MacLeod that's immortal in
mm,
the franchise going forward, but we want to acknowledge Duncan. I don't know. So
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, it could be interesting. And talking about Duncan and talking about Connor's family in the movie, I'm not going to let this go. Adrian Paul is growing a beard. I mean, he's certainly got more stubble than usual. I mean, I know I'm getting into the weeds here, but like, he's been doing a tour, doing his sort of experience thing, but he's also been touring locations and things with people. So he's been on social media a fair bit. Um, he's He's looking pretty good. I feel like he's been training. I feel like he's growing a beard. That's all I'm saying.
Fingers crossed.
He's going to play his dad. I'm sure he's going to play his dad. So, the other huge news is that I got a new microphone.
Yeah,
So, thank you,
that's
Walter the
actually I
Wobot.
think the biggest news of the whole thing
It
is
is absolutely. Yeah, we've got
yeah.
Walter the Wobot moaning about it. Philip McLeod man. Well, guys, I stole my kid's microphone, so hopefully this is going to work better. Um,
That's brilliant.
but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That aside, the huge news was this casting that came from literally nowhere. Like we've been tracking this as a remake. Okay, so we're going, oh look, here are our main roles. And they're being filled one by one, and that's great. And we expected a few wild cards because you're going to throw somebody sort of new in there. And then we'd sort of got to where did we get to? We got to Castigear, and we kind of thought, okay, fine. Well, we've sort of done the main one. We're still waiting for Brenda, but we'd sort of pretty much done, right? And then, oh, by the way, Jeremy Irons is going to be in the movie. We're like, what? Oh, wow, that's cool. Who's he going to be playing? The leader of the Watchers.
Wow.
This changes everything. This genuinely changes everything. This is the most
Yeah.
important casting we've had so far because this is no longer a straight remake. I mean, it was never going to, it's a reboot, but we're bringing in the series, and this changes so much. I'm already seeing comments from people that are sort of were either on the fence or against, suddenly going, actually, I'll give this a go. This could be good now. Yeah, Amy, what were your thoughts when our world was turned upside down?
I thought it was fantastic. Bringing the Watchers in is probably one of the best things of the series. So
Yeah,
I think the fact that they're going to bring this into the remake is just it's gonna give it that extra layer that it needs.
yeah.
Especially considering, if you want the first films are still there.
Mhm.
If you want to reboot it and do it differently, why not thread the series and the film together? Because the Watchers was a fantastic storyline.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Joe?
Can we call it a rebake? Kind of combine reboot and
Remake.
remake?
Why not?
A rebake? Um, no, I kind of did a little fist pump and was like, yes, because I was hoping, I think as we had discussed a few times, that if they were going to redo the whole mythology and do it new, and not intend it for just one film, that they would also work in elements of the series, and they obviously are with the Watchers. Um, Jeremy Irons is just amazing. I mean, he'll do a quiet menace that I kind of, Die Hard 3. He was
Yeah.
like fantastic in that and everything he's in. So
Yeah.
very excited for it. And I have now lots of wild theories, or at least one theory as to something regarding that I hope comes true. But well,
Do tell.
okay. So my theory and my hope is that he is playing, because I kind of alluded to him being in charge, leader of the Watchers who have decided to track and eliminate the Immortals, which obviously is come from the Hunters from the series, right?
Yeah.
Horton's group. So I'm thinking that we're going to see basically that division where Horton has kind of gone crazy and led the Watchers slowly towards, and we're going to hunt them down. And um, Connor either finds or is contacted by uh, the actual Joe Dawson, leader of the Watchers, who I'm hoping, I'm going to knock on wood, that they stunt cast Lawrence Fishburne to play him. And he's like, hey, listen, this is not the Watchers. This is not, what we're about. And I need your help with this. So maybe that's kind of like the catalyst for the story going forward in the movie, either for the sequels or at the beginning of the movie. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there we go.
Fantastic. Yeah. Interesting.
Chad, reach out to me. I got this figured out for you. So
Well, I think what was interesting about his casting, I say it came out of the blue, but actually when I think about it, I feel like the writing's been on the wall for a little while about this. Because cast your mind back a fair while now, and there was talk of Michael Fassbender playing the bad guy in Highlander. I don't know if you recall, and it was a really odd one because we knew this. Obviously, we known for a long time that Henry was playing Connor. So was Fassbender really going to be playing the Kurgan? Well, no, no way. And there was talk of the Mongol and stuff that came from a sort of a leaked scooper that I think was wasn't really on the money there. So it always sat a bit weird. But I remember thinking at the time, well, maybe he's not playing the bad guy. Maybe he's just playing a bad guy, which of course then leads you to, Horton as a really good sort of option for that. So I actually think that maybe Fassbender was in line for this role way, way, way back when it was going to shoot, like last year, or the beginning of this year, or one of the many times where it was going to film. Yeah, so I kind of feel like maybe maybe that's what that role was. But man, yeah, Jeremy Irons is another Oscar winner in the
Yeah.
ranks. Um, it's a pretty good cast right now, and I don't think they're going to top this. I can't even think who they could cast as Brenda, if there still is a Brenda. I mean, we're holding out for it, right? But at this point,
I, I kind of wonder because they have been really pushing the female immortal as being his modern day,
mm,
present day love interest. So
yeah, no,
I don't know if you need a Brenda character in there.
mhm, yeah, but
I still think you need some sort of non-immortal present day
yeah,
character, either Brenda or a Moran or Bedso
mhm,
that interacts with them to kind of give, you always have to have the audience input, throughput into it. And I think
exactly,
you kind
yeah,
of need that. Um, but it doesn't have to be Brenda. So,
In some ways, I suppose if they bring in the Watchers in, they're the
yeah,
mortal
that's true.
side, aren't
Yeah.
they?
yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know, but even well, if Brenda is in there, I can't even think who they could one up everybody with their casting. Who's who's the biggest actress in the world? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. I was like, oh right, okay,
Yeah. I mean, they still could have Brenda and not necessarily make her uh, the love interest, right?
sure, yeah,
Or
that's true.
maybe it's like, in the sequels because maybe something happened to the mortal love interest,
Yeah,
and the Brenda character or Cypher or whoever it is kind of helps him recover from that, and um, in the third movie, they finally get together. I don't know, or the
Yeah,
series, I don't know, but
yeah, yeah.
um,
No, that makes
so
sense.
because
Um,
that's it. They don't have to play all their cards, do they? In the first film, they've got
yeah,
mm,
multiple films
I
after that to.
I kind of been looking at this that and thinking about it, and I think the first Highlander movie was very much set up as um, us looking into the immortal world and finding out about it along with the characters and getting pieces. And I feel like they're kind of almost doing the reverse with this, in that we're going to be inside the immortal world and find out a lot about them and know everything that's going on, and that'll galvanize a story going forward. Kind of like with John Wick. I mean, that was
mm,
the first movie was kind of like, ooh, what's this stuff going on? But from the second John Wick movie on, we were very much as the audience on the inside of it, and
yeah,
nothing was really that mysterious except for like the high table and things like within the mythology.
yeah,
So it feels like Chad is taking lessons from that and is like, no, we're going full bore right into the immortal world and everything, and not really going to have much happening outside of that. And we're going to drag you along, and I'm all for that. I think that'll be cool.
yeah. No, definitely, yeah. No, that's a good point. Actually, I hadn't really thought about it. It's sort of yeah, because I think the first movie was, as you say, is very much outside in to a degree. I mean, you're with Connor the whole time, and you're in his head, and you're seeing his memories and things like that through the flashbacks. But yes, you were following it as a mortal, sort of discovering this world. But I
Yeah.
suppose that's part of the thing of having 40 years of this franchise is that
Yeah.
we sort of, as an audience, to at least some degree, are aware of it. And so we don't need to be told from the beginning again. It's like these, like the James Gunn Superman or Spider-Man Homecoming. We don't need to
Yeah.
see the origins again. We sort of
Yeah.
we've got that by osmosis from all of the previous iterations and things like that. So let's just get to the good stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Yeah, so I mean, who knows where we're going now? It looks like shooting is going to be, is it next year now because of Henry's injury, right? So we got a little bit longer to wait again. Um,
I, I'm concerned about that because the original shooting meant that I was pretty confident we would get a release during the 40th anniversary year.
Yeah,
But if they're not going to start till early 2026, it may not come out till 27. And that's it's like, oh, you guys are missing it.
I
But
know. Yeah, just missed it by one year.
yeah,
I know. It's a shame. But yeah, it's a good point. It's a good thing to remember as well. Next year is a big year for Highlander. Not only will they
Yeah.
be filming the reboot finally, um, unless Henry breaks something else, please don't.
don't say that.
Sorry. Touch wood, touch wood. But yeah, it's the fourth. Gonna make you feel old, unless you're Amy. The 40th anniversary of the first movie. Wow, and also then therefore the 30th anniversary of Highlander Heart. We
Yeah,
started with
yes.
the fanzine. I started with the fanzine
It's cool.
in 1996, so 30 years ago, almost. So yeah, a big year, and we have some quiet plans for next year, in terms of maybe speaking to uh, some people that we haven't spoken to yet, and maybe even some people that maybe nobody's spoken to yet. But we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, all goes well. Um, it could be exciting.
You
Um,
don't forget too, next year is also the 35th anniversary of Highlander 2.
yes, it is.
So if we're celebrating anniversaries, but 2027 will be the 35th anniversary of Highlander the series. So
Right.
I guess it can still come out in an anniversary year.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and it's got the watches, so you're not a million miles away from when that sort of
Yeah,
came out and stuff. So yeah, yeah. I mean, all of the anniversaries, literally. The next few years. I mean, you won't be able to get rid of us. There you go.
that's right. That's right.
Oh, amazing, exciting stuff. Well, I guess yeah, that's where we're at the moment. We have a very, very, very full card right now, of all of the actors playing roles that we knew, roles that we didn't know, and roles that we didn't expect. Um, and yeah, maybe only one more to go to kind of fill it out. Maybe not. Who knows? So I mean, we'll be back as soon as there's something else to talk about, and hopefully that won't be too long. Maybe Henry will make a very, very swift recovery, and maybe they'll just be able to shoot him from the waist up. I don't know. Who knows? Um,
We can shoot all the dialogue scenes
Yeah.
yeah,
and, uh,
absolutely.
and then go to the action stuff.
Fantastic. All right. Well, look, guys, thank you so much as always, and thank you all for watching. And yeah, we'll catch up with you next time. So until then, hold fast.
And
And
don't lose
don't
your
lose your
head.
head.
We'll get it synchronized perfectly eventually.